everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how to crochet these cable baby hats. So these hats can be made in a number of different sizes, and for all of the information on how to make the different sizes, please see the description box below. So thank you very much for watching, and please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos. So to begin your hat, you want to start off by making a magic circle. So to do a magic circle, take your yarn and take your finger and wrap the yarn around your finger once. And you then want to wrap the yarn back over your finger to create a cross, like that. You then want to take your crochet hook and go underneath the first loop of the cross, and you may need to pull it up a little bit, but go underneath the first loop, and then using your crochet hook, pick up the second loop of the cross and pull it through. And you can then take your finger out, and there you have a magic circle, and we are ready to begin round one. So we are now on to round one of our hat, and to begin this round you want to chain one, and this chain one does not count as a stitch, this just locks our magic circle into place. And now for round one, we are going to do 12 double crochets into the magic circle, so 12 double crochets. So to do a double crochet, yarn over and go down into the magic circle, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the final 2 loops on your hook. So there we have 1 double crochet into the magic circle. Now yarn over, go back down into the circle and do a second one, then a third, and keep doing this until you have 12. So I have just finished working those double crochets for round one. And now to finish off this round, we need to close up our magic circle and join. So to close up the magic circle, you want to take your end or your tail here and simply pull this nice and tight. So pull it as tight as you can, and that will close up the magic circle. And then to join, we're going to do a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we worked. So here is the first double crochet, and if you're not sure, you can count back 12 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that will take you to the stitch that you need to do a slip stitch into. So insert your hook into this stitch, the first double crochet, and yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. And there we have finished round one, and we are ready to begin round two. So we are now on to round 2 of our baby hat, and to begin this round you want to chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So now to begin this round, we're going to go down into this first stitch here, so the stitch that our chain 1 comes out of, and we're going to work a double crochet. So yarn over and go down into this first stitch and work 1 double crochet. And now in this round, we're going to start using a stitch called front post double crochet. And what we're going to do is we're going to work a front post double crochet around this very first stitch here. So around the first double crochet from last round. So far we have done 1 double crochet into the top of this first stitch. And now we are going to do a front post double crochet around that same stitch, so around the very first stitch of the round. So now to do a front post double crochet, you want to yarn over, but then instead of going down into the top of the stitch, we are going to go down into the space before it. So here is the very first double crochet, and we are going to go down into the space right before that first double crochet. So go down right before the stitch into that space, and then we're going to go around the back of the stitch and come out in the space after it. So we're coming out after the stitch, and you should find that that double crochet kind of ends up on your crochet hook. And now you want to yarn over and pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the final 2 loops on your hook. And there we have done a front post double crochet, and you can see that that stitch kind of comes upwards, and that is what gives us our cable effect. So now what we're going to do is we are going to move on to the next double crochet here. So this is the second double crochet from last round, and we're going to yarn over and go into the top of this stitch, so as we normally would. So go into the top of this stitch and work 1 double crochet. So we're working a double crochet into that second stitch, and now just like we just did, we are going to work a front post double crochet back around this same stitch, so around the same stitch that we just worked a double crochet into. So yarn over and go down into the space right before this stitch, so right before the second double crochet of last round. So go in before it, come around the back and come out in the space right after that stitch. Then yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through the final 2 loops on your hook. So there we have done a double crochet into that second stitch, and then we have done a front post double crochet around it, and we're going to repeat that all the way around for round 2. We're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to go and work a front post double crochet back around that same stitch. Then we're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch, then a front post double crochet around that one, then a double crochet into the next, and then a front post double crochet around that stitch. And we're just going to do that all the way around. So yarn over and go into the next stitch here, the next double crochet. So this is the third double crochet from last round. So go into the top of that stitch and do a double crochet. So just 1 normal double crochet. And then we're going to do a front post double crochet around that same stitch. So yarn over, go in before that stitch, come out after it, and work a double crochet. So there we have done a double crochet, then a front post double crochet into that stitch, and we're just going to continue that all the way around. So I am just coming to the end of round 2 and I have one last stitch to work into. So I'm going to do a double crochet into this last stitch and then a front post double crochet around the very same stitch, so around that last stitch. And this is what you should have. So you can see we have started to create our cable. And now to finish round 2, we're going to do a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we worked. So here is the first double crochet, and you need to make sure that you're not going into the chain 1, that you're going into the double crochet. And if you're not sure which stitch to go into, then you can count back 24 stitches, but insert your hook into this stitch and work a slip stitch. And now we are ready to move on to round 3. So we are now on to round 3, and to begin this round, chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So now we're going to start off by going down into this very first stitch here. So this is the first double crochet from last round, and we are going to work 2 double crochets both into this stitch. So yarn over and go down into this stitch. So it is the same stitch that our chain 1 comes out of, and work 1 double crochet. Then yarn over and go back down into the same stitch again and do a second double crochet. So there we have 2 double crochets into that first stitch there. And now we are going to move on to this next stitch, and this stitch is the first front post double crochet from last round. And what we're going to do is we are going to do a front post double crochet around this stitch. So around the front post double crochet from last round. So yarn over and go in before the stitch, so you can see it's kind of this very first raised one, and go around the back and out after the stitch, and you should find that the double crochet is now on your hook, and work a double crochet. So there we have done 2 double crochets into the first stitch, then 1 front post double crochet around the first front post double crochet from last round, and we're just going to repeat that all the way around into this next stitch here. So this is the next double crochet. We're going to do 2 double crochets, then we're going to do a front post double crochet around the front post double crochet from last round. Then we're going to do 2 double crochets, 1 front post double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 front post double crochet all the way around. So yarn over and go down into this next stitch. So this is just a double crochet, and we're going to do 2 double crochets into this stitch like that. And then we're going to move on to our next front post double crochet here. Yarn over, go in before it, around the back and out after, and do a front post double crochet. And just repeat that all the way around. So I'm just coming to the end of this round, and I have done a last front post double crochet around the very last stitch. And now to finish off this round, we're going to do a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we worked. So here is the very first double crochet. insert your hook into this stitch and work a slip stitch. And now we're ready to move on to the next round. So we are now on to round 4, and to begin this round you want to chain 1, and this chain 1 never counts as a stitch. So now to begin this round, we're going to go down into this very first stitch here, so this first double crochet, and we're going to do 2 double crochets. So yarn over, go down into this first stitch here and do 2 double crochets both into this stitch, like that. And now into the next stitch we are going to do 1 double crochet. So yarn over, go into this next double crochet here and do 1 double crochet. And now we have reached our first front post double crochet from last round, and just as we did before, we are going to do a front post double crochet around this stitch. So yarn over, go in the space before it, around the back and come out after it, and do a front post double crochet. And now for the rest of round 4, we are just going to repeat that again and again and again. So we're going to do 2 double crochets both into this next double crochet here. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. And then we're going to do a front post double crochet around the front post double crochet from last round. Then repeat that again, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, front post double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, front post double crochet, all the way around. So I'm going to do 2 double crochets both into this next stitch, then 1 double crochet into the next one, and then I have reached my next front post double crochet, and I'm going to yarn over, go in before it, out after it, and do a front post double crochet, and just continue that all the way around. So I am just coming to the end of round 4. So I have worked my last front post double crochet, and now to finish this round we're going to do a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we worked. And now we are ready to move on to round 5. So to begin this round you want to chain 1, and this chain 1 never counts as a stitch. So now to start off, we are going to do 1 double crochet into each of these first 3 stitches. So yarn over, go down into the first stitch and do 1 double crochet, do 1 into the next, and 1 into the next. And now what we're going to do is we are going to do a front post double crochet around the front post double crochet here. So yarn over and do a front post double crochet. So there we have done 3 double crochets, 1 into each stitch, and then a front post double crochet, and we're going to repeat that all the way around for this round. We're going to do 1 double crochet into each of these 3 stitches, then a front post double crochet, then 3 more double crochets, front post double crochet, all the way around. So go down into this next double crochet here and do 1 double crochet, then do 1 into the next one and 1 into the next, and then we are going to do a front post double crochet around this one from last round. Like that. Then do 3 more double crochets, and then do a front post double crochet. And just continue this all the way around for round 5. So I have just finished working that all the way around for round 5. So I have done my last front post double crochet, and now we're going to finish off with a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we worked. And now we are ready to move on to round 6. So we are now on to round 6, and the rest of our baby hat is very simple. We are just going to repeat round 5, so the round that we just did, again and again and again, until you feel that your hat is long enough. So for round 5, we chain 1, then we do 3 double crochets, 1 into each stitch, and then a front post double crochet around the next stitch. And we just repeat that all the way around and finish with a slip stitch. And then you want to repeat that again. Chain 1, do round 5 all the way around, then do the same thing again, and just keep repeating round 5 until you feel that your hat is the right size. And then once you have done that, this is what you should have. So this is what your hat should look like. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 repeats. So I did 10 repeats of round 5 for my hat, but you can do as many as you like, and the bigger size you are doing, the more repeats you may want to do. And then once you have finished, you may want to add a little border around the bottom like I did. So I just worked 1 single crochet into every single stitch around, just to give a neat little border at the end, but that is completely optional. And then once you have finished and you have done your last slip stitch, fasten off, so pull your yarn out and your hook and cut your yarn, and you can then go ahead and weave all of your ends nice and securely into the inside of your hat. And before you weave in the one at the top, you want to pull it nice and tight to make sure that the hole is closed up. And there we have finished. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it easy to follow. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos. And in the description box below this video, I will leave a link to where you can find my Twitter account. So if you would like to go and follow me on there, I always like to post updates and pictures of upcoming tutorials. And I would also really love to see photos of your crochet work on Twitter as well. So if you make this hat, it would be great to see a photo of it on Twitter. And in the description box, I will also leave a link to where you can find some of my written patterns if you are interested. And thank you again for watching. Bye!